Every second you're alive, trillions of microscopic structures inside your body are carrying out millions of chemical reactions. They're producing energy, building proteins, repairing damage, fighting disease, and somehow keeping you alive without you ever noticing. The incredible part? Every one of those tiny structures follows the same basic blueprint. By the end of this video, you'll understand the different parts of a cell, what each one does, and why scientists often compare a single cell to an entire city. Once you see how all the pieces fit together, I promise you'll never look at biology the same way again. This is the cell structure explained in under 10 minutes by the 10-Minute Mentor. Scientists summarize this idea with the cell theory, one of the foundations of biology. It states three things. First, all living organisms are made of cells. Second, the cell is the basic unit of life. And third, every new cell comes from another existing cell through cell division. Now, let's look inside of one. The cell membrane. Imagine a city surrounded by security gates. The cell membrane is that protective border. Its job is to decide what enters the cell and what leaves it. Oxygen, nutrients, and water can enter, while waste products leave. The membrane isn't completely sealed. Instead, it's selectively permeable, meaning it carefully controls what passes through. Without the membrane, a cell wouldn't be able to maintain the stable environment it needs to survive. Inside the membrane is a thick, jelly-like substance called the cytoplasm. Think of it as the space where nearly everything happens. All of the cell's internal structures are suspended inside the cytoplasm, and countless chemical reactions take place here every second. It's the workspace that allows the rest of the cell to function. If the cell were a company, the nucleus would be the headquarters. The nucleus contains DNA, the genetic instructions that tell the cell how to grow, repair itself, divide, and perform its specific functions. DNA acts like an instruction manual containing thousands of genes. When the cell needs to build a protein or perform a task, it reads the instructions stored inside the nucleus. Because of this, the nucleus is often called the control center of the cell. Cells constantly need proteins. Proteins build muscles, repair tissues, create enzymes, transport molecules, and perform thousands of other jobs. The structures responsible for making these proteins are called ribosomes. You can think of ribosomes as tiny factories. They read genetic instructions and assemble amino acids into proteins. Some ribosomes float freely into the cytoplasm, while others attach themselves to another important organelle called the rough endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum, or ER for short, acts like the cell's transportation network. There are actually two types. The rough ER has ribosomes attached to it, giving it a rough appearance. It helps produce and transport proteins throughout the cell. The smooth ER has no ribosomes. Instead, it produces lipids, helps break down harmful substances, and stores calcium, especially in muscle cells. So while the rough ER focuses on proteins, the smooth ER specializes in fats and detoxification. Once proteins are made, they aren't immediately ready to use. They first travel to the Golgi Apparatus. Think of the Golgi as the cell's shipping and packaging center. It modifies proteins, sorts them, packages them into small sacs called vesicles, and sends them exactly where they're needed. Whether the protein stays inside the cell or it gets released outside, the Golgi makes sure it reaches the correct destination. One of the most famous organelles is the mitochondrion. You may have heard it being called before as the powerhouse of the cell. That nickname is accurate because mitochondria convert nutrients from food into ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate. ATP is a usable form of energy that powers nearly every activity inside your cells. Without ATP, muscles couldn't contract, nerves couldn't send signals, and cells couldn't survive. Interestingly, mitochondria even contain their own small amount of DNA, which scientists believe is evidence that they were once independent organisms billions of years ago. Every city needs waste disposal. Cells? They have lysosomes. These small sacs contain powerful digestive enzymes that break down damaged cell parts, bacteria, viruses, and worn-out materials. Instead of allowing waste to build up, lysosomes recycle many of these materials so the cell can reuse them. This constant cleanup keeps cells healthy and functioning properly. Vacuoles are storage compartments. They hold water, nutrients, salts, and waste products. Animal cells usually contain several small vacuoles. Plant cells, however, often have one massive central vacuole that stores water and helps keep the plant rigid and standing upright. Without that water pressure, many plants would quickly die. Plant and animal cells have many structures in common. Both contain a cell membrane, nucleus, mitochondria, ribosomes, Golgi Apparatus, cytoplasm, and endoplasmic reticulum. But plant cells have three important features that animal cells do not. The first is the cell wall. Unlike the flexible cell membrane, the cell wall is a rigid outer layer made mostly of cellulose. It provides strength, support, and protection. The second is chloroplasts. Chloroplasts contain chlorophyll, the green pigment that captures sunlight. Using sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide, chloroplasts perform photosynthesis, producing glucose for energy and releasing oxygen into the atmosphere. The third difference is the large central vacuole we mentioned earlier. These three structures explain why plant cells have a more rectangular appearance, while animal cells tend to be rounder and more flexible. Why does cell structure matter, you may ask? Each organelle performs one specialized task, but none of them work alone. The nucleus provides the instructions, ribosomes build proteins, the endoplasmic reticulum transports them, the Golgi packages them, mitochondria provides energy, lysosomes clean up waste. The membrane controls what enters and what leaves. Together, these structures keep every cell alive. And because your entire body is made of trillions of cells working together, understanding cell structure is really understanding how life itself operates. Next time you get a paper cut, take a deep breath, or even blink, remember that none of it happens by accident. Beneath your skin, trillions of tiny cells are working together every second, carrying out countless chemical reactions to keep you alive without you ever having to think about it. These microscopic structures may be invisible to the naked eye, but they're responsible for everything, from healing a cut to helping you think, breathe, and move. Understanding cells is the first step towards understanding biology as a whole. And that was the cell structure explained in under 10 minutes. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to the 10-Minute Mentor for more quick lessons and big ideas, always explained in under 10 minutes. See you guys in the next video.